Hi. I am messing around and feeling alright. Feeling good. Feeling good about what I'm coming up with here. Okay, cool. Couldn't really tell you what key I'm in. I could be better about knowing music. I basically just took a couple of, well, I wouldn't say a couple of classes. I spent 2 years training in music at Cerritos College. And from there, I just kind of listened to what one of my music professors taught me, and he was like, just do. There's only so much learning you can do. Just do. That's the most important thing. And then I have, I don't even know, Zora. I have her in my ear now, telling me to go to college so I can make connections. At 31. At 31. I changed the key on there. At 31 still, huh? Alright, let's change the key. So I'm adding a little bit of an accidental there. That's the accent, Otherwise, it would sound really, really pretty. I'm not even sure what I would do there. Maybe I can go. Huh, that would work, huh? Cool. So, you might be wondering 4 minutes in, if you're still watching, which, what is going to be the point of today's video? Well, I am going to be freestyling a bit and also working on my vocals. Now, I did a little bit of a warm-up, so we'll see how this goes. Singing a lot of Stevie, a lot of Michael Jackson. And another good tip I got from one of my teachers was to be careful about spending massive amounts of time singing in the style of other people. And at the time, I didn't really understand. So I'm going to put it in my own words. Music is taught ABC. It's taught like, okay, these are the chords. This is how you put them together. Granted, I only took 2 years, so I'm speaking from a limited place. After a certain point, you start to understand more and more about, yeah, because, yeah. That's nice. That's a little jump. A minor to E minor, huh? So we could go to D, D, so D, G, D, G, D, G, A minor, A minor, E minor, so. So with music, and I'll put this in the words of I don't even think I finished my thought. So basically what I was gonna say is at a certain point you start to understand the nuances that really, like, they're small things, like the way Michael Jackson would be percussive. He would go and he would like do a lot of that, and you don't really hear that because you just get so hypnotized by the song. You don't really pay attention to those nuances, which leads me to what I was going to say next, which is hypnotizing. Music is hypnotizing, and that's also something I'm just now realizing. Any style of music is gonna put people in a cult-like state of mind. You hear people refer to music as healing. These are not coincidences. You hear people in cults use similar language. So it is kind of cult-like to be a professional musician, because you're getting people to like be in a trance. And if they can't get into a trance, then there's enough of them that can't get into a trance, then they start to boo. Boo. Most of the time, crowds are pretty cool, though. That needs to go to another... Right, that's like a lullaby, and it needs to go to... It could go there. It could go there, but maybe with... So, wait a minute. So can I move this up to there? There's a fly in here. So with this one, so both hands are playing G, and then we go right hand C, right hand, there's a fly and it's buzzing and it's annoying. Then left hand goes C, right hand goes A, minor. And I believe that's the key of F. No, F is something else, right? Yeah, it's F diminished. So F. No. Yeah. No, it's G. It's G. Getting my things mixed up. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, hypnotize, put in a trance, in some type of way. You kind of make the people who are digging your music, they kind of go numb for a second. Takes away from the pain. So it's whatever. We all gotta make a living somehow. So if you feel like I'm putting you in a trance, hit the like and subscribe. Meanwhile, I'm gonna practice. So if you're not here to watch me practice, you can stick around. So just gonna practice a little bit with gonna put one of these in so I can hear my own. Let me raise the volume. Oh no! Just smack the shit out of What's hard about singing is there are so many things that we have to keep track of. I know for me, when I'm singing, I'm like, it helps me to think that I'm just talking. So I'm just vocalizing normally. And you're also like vocalizing a vowel, so it also helps to think of the vowel's placement in the mouth. It's a lot, and at the same time you want to hit the right note, so you have to like imagine the note in your brain. Of course, everyone has their own different ways. These are just the ways that I was taught. And then also too, the trick is to think of yourself, because if you lose, you need to be ultra focused on singing. Losing concentration in singing results to like a break in the note or in the swing of whatever it is you're doing. So oftentimes I'll like the note itself will like dip or go higher because my mind will just be thinking about how much I suck. So it helps to be confident. And then also too, that they're realizing that practice is in the individual. So however you practice is great. And I need to tell myself that too. Deep breaths so you can hold the note longer. And then another thing to think about too is where the note is placed when you're vocalizing, in the head or in the chest. And then some people say in the throat, like in the middle area. And that might sound kind of crazy. It is true. The lower notes, you feel it in your body. Your body will vibrate with lower notes. So let's try some of these lower notes, just so I can get that good vibration. So that, I feel like I can still get more body vibration. So I'm gonna go just a little bit lower to this sour note right here. This little like, yeah, I think sour is a good way of like a psychedelic sour type of thing. Also, too, the voice, it needs to be warmed up. That might sound foreign because you think, okay, the vocal cords, you warm up a muscle, the vocal cords are a muscle, question mark? And it's like, well, the vocal cords are just like something else, and for some reason they benefit from warming up. So, and I know this, one, because that's what I was taught, and then two, because I've noticed the difference when I'm like in the shower singing with the hot water going. At the beginning of my shower session, my voice will sound smoother after when I've been in a hot shower with all that hot water moistening my vocal cords. Like it's true. So let's go one deeper to see if I can get how much of that vibration in my body can I get. So we switch the vowels. I've been going and I feel like my vocal cords are a little tight, so I'm gonna try a different vowel. So E, maybe E. So with that one, I feel like let me try to like E E. The problem with the E vowel is that it I don't know. It feels like it's in the back of my throat when you really want sound to project outward. So sometimes when I'm like projecting outward, it helps me to remember, as long as you can vocalize it, all vowels can be vocalized. So as long as you have sound coming out, then go for that as opposed to the vowel that you think is the right vowel in your head. Go for the vocalization part of it. And I can feel my vocal cords like it's not a vibrato. It's like going. It's like shaking the way like a window would shake in the cold. So my vocal cords are clearly not warmed up at all. So let's take it one up to this one. And let's hit a chord just for fun. Different one. Different one. That's better. That's a little bit. That's better, huh? B minor. B augmented. How about this one? B. So that helped, because with all those other notes, it helped me trust the note that I was singing, vocalizing. Can't really call it singing, you know, we're just vocalizing at this point. Singing is when you go like, this is singing, I guess. B. So with the E sound, it again, we want to like project it forward, depending on the style. I'm projecting forward because that's the style I like to sing in. So B. So we want the vowel to be as open as possible. which is hard to do with E because it's so easy to just be like E, teeth are here, and it's like stopping the sound from coming all the way out. So E, so you do kind of have this like weird face. E, and then the tongue too, like it's also going up too. So it's like I, like all the sound, like you're doing this, like in my head with the tongue going up like this and the teeth coming down like that. The sound is like going, and it's like almost pushing down in a way. So we want that sound to project forward. So E, and I'm doing this with my hands to like help visualize. E. Fun, silly fun. That sounds dope. What if we have the bass here doing it with it? What if we have these chords? So what I'm doing here is going from the to the G. That's A. G. Going from the A to the D to the C. And then I was just kind of going back and forth between those two things, so. That's actually. It's hard for me to know what note that is actually. I mean, I'm in the right note. It's the note of B. It's just is which octave of B. I have the hardest time with that. Maybe it's because it's the bass that makes it feel like it's so much lower than my actual voice is, which it is. Uh, mm, so maybe actually I'm not that old. So maybe. Okay, so that was definitely a bit lower than. Okay, perfect, got it. And then also too, let's also remember, fam, people watching. It's also important to remember that with practice, I know we're in our heads and we're like, oh, we don't sound like Michael Jackson, or we don't sound like Stevie Wonder, or we don't sound like whoever your favorite artist is, which obviously I have so many. It's important to remember that the practice pays off, and that the practice is important, and that we are our own individual people. And who's to say that in a different life they're not looking at us that way? So, and we've already been going for 26 minutes. That is crazy to me. Crazy, 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 crazy. Very, very, very crazy, very crazy. Simple. Ah! So, so we start off with simple. Right? So it's so think of A, C, and E, right? Ace, A, C, E. That's the chord. That's the triad right there, right? Also, little pro tip: the chords have been used to make a lot of super successful and popular music, which is to say that oftentimes what's very successful and popular, and what's like artistically visionary, they operate in different. One's over here and then one's over here. Genius and notoriety or fame or popularity, they're separate from each other. So I know we all like to think, oh, these artists are geniuses, and it's like, go to an opera, go to the LA Opera House. Go watch these vocalists belt, which is kind of in the technique I'm training to. And you know, there are times as well when the two do this, like a DNA strand. And it also takes a lot of boring, repetitive work. Like, that's the part that no one wants to ever talk about. You know how freak boring it is to just be practicing the same old thing all the time? The same old scales to practice your vocals all the time, all the time, all the time. Like, that stuff is hella boring. And it's so time consuming. And it's also necessary. I wish, man. Then again, would it be the journey without this? So I'm gonna end it like that, 30 minutes. I'm gonna end it like a TV show right here. Would it be the journey without the boringness associated with it? The boring stuff. Like work. Work is boring, right? You want to get that money though, so you can build to the next part of your life. get to the next part of your life. I believe in